Toyota is about to introduce a truck that looks almost too simple for today's market, and that is exactly why it matters. For years, buyers have been trained to believe that modern trucks have to be expensive, complicated, and packed with technology to be legitimate. Prices climbed past $30,000, beds shrank, payloads dropped, and compact pickup slowly became another word for a crossover with an open cargo area. Toyota is now challenging that entire direction. Instead of chasing luxury trims, oversized screens, and rising monthly payments, Toyota is preparing to bring something very different to North America. A pickup that is designed around real work first, and price second. Not price as a marketing hook, but price as a practical advantage. The truck is called the Hilux Champ, and the reason it is causing so much discussion has less to do with styling or features and more to do with what it quietly exposes about the modern truck market. Because if this approach works, it raises an uncomfortable question. Have trucks become expensive because they had to, or because buyers were left with no alternative? To understand why the Hilux Champ matters, you have to look at how Toyota built it, starting with the philosophy behind it. Mechanical simplicity and long-term durability. Modern pickups are impressive machines, but they come with a growing downside. Layers of electronics, complex software systems, and tightly integrated components mean that when something goes wrong, the truck often stops completely. A single fault can lead to warning lights, reduced power modes, and days of downtime while diagnostics are performed. For someone running a business, that downtime is not an inconvenience. It is lost income. Toyota deliberately moved away from that direction with the Hilux Champ. The truck is engineered with a utilitarian mindset that prioritizes proven mechanical components and simplicity over innovation for its own sake. The focus is not on standing out on a specification sheet, but on continuing to operate reliably under constant use. Fewer electronic systems means fewer failure points. Proven powertrain layouts mean easier maintenance and more predictable ownership. For contractors, delivery drivers, and fleet operators, that kind of consistency matters more than novelty. Toyota's reputation was built on vehicles that remain usable long after others are retired. The Hilux Champ is designed to fit into that tradition, but reliability alone does not solve the problem if the truck cannot adapt to the work it is meant to do. That is where Toyota made a second, less obvious decision. A platform instead of a finished product. Most pickups are sold as completed consumer products. You select a trim level, accept the features included with it, and then try to make the truck fit your business or workflow. In many cases, that means paying for equipment you do not need, then spending additional money to remove or work around it. The Hilux Champ approaches this differently. Instead of forcing buyers into a fixed format, Toyota designed the truck as a platform. Traditional pickup beds are available, but the most important configuration is the chassis cab. In this form, the truck arrives as a partially finished foundation that is intended to be built upon. Flatbeds, enclosed cargo boxes, mobile service bodies, food operations, and municipal setups can all be added without extensive modification. The truck is meant to adapt to the job, not the other way around. This level of configurability has historically been reserved for more expensive commercial chassis cabs, placing it out of reach for small businesses and independent operators. Toyota is bringing that flexibility into a price range where startups and individual workers can realistically access it. That shift matters, but flexibility alone does not keep operating costs down. Over time, fuel becomes one of the biggest expenses associated with any work vehicle, which leads to the next part of the equation: fuel efficiency that changes ownership math. Small truck owners are often forced into uncomfortable trade-offs. Choose a powerful engine and accept high fuel consumption, or choose efficiency and deal with limited capability. Toyota is attempting to narrow that gap with a hybrid option designed specifically around work use. Rather than focusing on peak output or performance figures, the hybrid Hilux Champ emphasizes efficiency where work trucks actually operate. Low-speed driving, frequent stops, loaded starts, and urban routes are where fuel consumption tends to spike. That is where the electric motor contributes the most. The result is lower fuel usage without sacrificing the ability to carry or tow meaningful loads. For owners covering long distances every day, these savings are not theoretical. Over years of use, fuel costs become a manageable expense rather than a constant concern. For fleet operators, the math becomes even more compelling. When fuel savings are multiplied across multiple vehicles, the difference can reshape operating budgets. Efficiency, however, only matters if the truck can still perform its primary function. Payload and towing that support real work. The Hilux Champ does not pretend to be a lifestyle vehicle. It is built to haul. Payload capacity is rated at approximately 2,200 pounds, placing it close to many mid-sized trucks despite its compact footprint. That capacity translates directly into fewer trips, more productive days, and less time spent working around limitations. Towing capacity reaches up to 5,500 pounds. That is enough for equipment trailers, work tools, and tasks that many compact pickups struggle to handle consistently. Instead of planning around constraints, owners can focus on completing the job. At the same time, the smaller overall size brings advantages: maneuverability in tight areas, easier parking, and lower overall operating costs compared to larger trucks remain part of the package. Up to this point, everything sounds practical, useful even, but none of it would matter if the truck still followed the pricing pattern that pushed so many buyers out of the market in the first place. This is where the Hilux Champ changes the conversation. Pricing that reframes the entire segment. Toyota is not positioning the Hilux Champ as a budget version of a luxury truck. It is positioning it as an alternative to how trucks have been priced altogether. Early expectations place the entry-level Hilux Champ well below the cost of most new pickups currently on sale. In fact, it enters the market at a level where many buyers would normally be looking at used vehicles with uncertain histories. That difference alone changes ownership risk. Instead of financing an aging truck or stretching a budget to reach an entry-level trim, buyers gain access to a new, warrantied vehicle from a manufacturer known for durability. For new businesses and independent operators, that reduction in risk can matter as much as the purchase price itself. Even as trims increase and hybrid options are added, the Hilux Champ is projected to remain far below competitors in overall cost. While other compact pickups begin near the high 20s and climb quickly with options, Toyota is anchoring this truck in a different category altogether. That approach forces buyers to reconsider what they are actually paying for in modern trucks. The compromises you need to understand this pricing strategy does not come without trade-offs, and Toyota is not hiding them. The interior is intentionally basic. Hard plastics, simple controls, and minimal insulation are part of the design. Comfort features common in more expensive trucks are limited or optional. This is not a vehicle designed to impress passengers. Ride quality reflects the same priorities. The suspension is tuned for carrying weight, not smoothing out empty commutes. Unloaded driving will feel firm, and rough roads will be noticeable. For trucks that spend most of their time working, this is acceptable. For drivers expecting daily comfort, it may not be. Advanced driver assistance systems are also limited compared to higher-priced competitors. The Hilux Champ meets required safety standards, but it does not offer the full suite of modern electronic aids. Buyers prioritizing those features need to account for that. The key point is that these compromises are intentional. Toyota removed them to protect affordability and durability, not to upsell them later. Why this truck matters. The Hilux Champ is not trying to replace lifestyle pickups. It is not competing for buyers who want premium interiors or cutting-edge displays. It exists for a different reason. In a market dominated by expensive, complex trucks, Toyota is offering a simple, capable alternative that restores real value to the segment. A truck built to work, priced to make sense, and flexible enough to serve a wide range of practical applications. For buyers who want refinement and comfort, alternatives like the Maverick will still make sense, especially as those models continue to evolve. But for those who want a dependable work tool without financial strain, the Hilux Champ represents something the market has not offered in years. And that is why it matters beyond this single model. If buyers respond the way Toyota expects, competitors will be forced to rethink how they build and price trucks altogether. That reaction is already beginning. If you want to see how rival manufacturers are adjusting, especially with upcoming hybrid updates and platform changes, check out the next video.